Hey, what's up, y'all? All right. Welcome to Texas Pete Unfiltered Podcast. I think this is episode 7. I could be wrong. I didn't check before I hopped on there, so I'm just going to get to it with y'all. Obviously, I'm your host, Texas Pete, IFBB Pro. For those of you who've been following along, I just won my pro card. I should have brought it in here with me. I just won my pro card at USA's. Won the open super heavyweight class. Just missed in the overall against a really good heavyweight. I don't know his name off the top of my head. A really good heavyweight. Congrats to you, bro. That was awesome. It was a good time, y'all. So, but that's kind of why I'm on here. So today's podcast is just gonna be me. It's just gonna be me solo dolo, and we're gonna run through Q&A. And also want to touch on my current situation as far as my coaching situation, because a lot of y'all, for whatever reason, are very curious about a coaching change. So I just want to address it. And honestly, before I get into any other questions, because I actually have a lot. I just have them up here on my phone. There's like one, two, 3 pages. Whoa. And, but I'm going to address, in my opinion, the biggest focal point of the podcast, something that I just want to get off my chest and get clear the air, because, it's something that was a very difficult decision, something very near and dear to my heart. I'll try not to cry, talking about it. So, okay, I'm gonna get to it. I'll just get to it. So, as y'all know, well, not everybody, but me and Branch Warren has been my coach since July of 2023. We did nationals in 23 together, where I placed 12th. That was my first show as a super heavy. He took me as a small classic guy, where I was just did junior nationals, where I was right at the weight cap. The weight cap back then for me was 220. I know it's increased. I placed third, and I was like, man, it was so hard for me to make down to that weight cut. My physique diminished by the time I got to that weight cap. It was time to grow, so I got with Branch, and within 6 months, we were 240 pounds on stage. So we went from 220 to 240 pounds of stage weight in 6 months. So it was awesome. After that, we took a lot of time off. We took all 24 off, came back in 25. He prepped me. We did his regional, which I won the overall, the Branch Warren Classic. And then we did USA's in 2025, where we placed second. So big improvement. And then we continued to work together, and we worked together all the way up until about 3 weeks out, from this USA's. Now, me and Branch are still on great terms. There's no bad blood here. He's a father figure to me, y'all. As you probably would expect, we've built a great relationship over these last 3 years, training legs together. I mean, heck, when I bought this house last year, him and Trish came to my housewarming party. You know what I mean? Me and Branch, he really is a father figure to me, whether he knows it or not. He is. And, but it got to a point where I just, um, I need a little bit more attention at the end of my prep. Maybe this is just me as an athlete. Branch is a very straightforward guy. He's also a very busy man. He was coaching me basically out of the kindness of his heart. He's not a full-time coach. As far as I know, he doesn't have a lot of athletes. This was more so him just doing this as a favor, because he's a freaking awesome guy. So came about, that 3 week out mark or whatever it was. And, there was just some delay and check-in responses and different things like that. I started having Justin Jacoby as a second set of eyes. He started kind of helping me a little bit. I was making some decisions on my own throughout the prep, and Branch was aware of that. We had a very kind of an open coach client relationship, where I'd kind of bounce things off of him. He would say, "Yeah, let's do that." Very, very cordial, um, and then at that point, it was just for me to not be stressed as an athlete, for me to feel comfortable as an athlete with what I was doing these last few weeks of the show. I needed a little bit more attention, a little bit more guidance. And that's really all it kind of comes down to. At one point, he was in South Africa hunting. Obviously, communication is very difficult. He did his best. We communicated the best we could. But that's kind of when I started having Justin Jacoby look at me, kind of give some input, because it was able to have daily responses from him, versus Branch. I just couldn't get the daily response due to him being in a freaking different country. Um, Branch got back. Yeah. And then it was just, just not the best case. It wasn't the best case scenario, in my opinion, for me as an athlete. And at the end of the day, y'all, I had to do what was going to make me feel the less stress and make me feel the most comfortable going into the show to win the show. This was the biggest show of my life. It was one that I felt I had a lot of pressure on me. A lot of people had me winning the show. And I felt that if I um, did not do that, I would have let a lot of people down. So in my head, I needed somebody to monitor me daily, even multiple times through the day. And like I said, Branch is a busy guy, and he wears so many different hats that I can't expect that from him. And there's no issues in that at all, because he's done so much for me. Like I said, this isn't his full-time gig. So that's that's basically what led me to hiring Justin the last few weeks of the show, and he just brought me to the finish line. Now, beyond that, Branch is why I am the bodybuilder that I am today. He's the reason why I have the physique that I have, the density, the hardness, the graininess, the size. That's all Branch, right? Branch put me through the off seasons. He put me through those brutal leg days. He's been there, y'all. That I'm not taking anything away from him, and that's why I'm on here to make this video. Is I need y'all to understand is that I'm not. This isn't like me giving all the credit to Justin. Yeah, Justin came in, and yes, he did peak me. He brought me into the show. We won the show together. Branch wasn't able to be there. Again, he's got other things going on. It's hard for him to just pick up and go to Vegas for a weekend, right? But outside of those few weeks with Justin, Branch Warren, he's been my coach for this whole time. All the credit is due to him. And I love you, Branch. Love you, Branch. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're like a father to me, bro. And we had a great run. And I know it's not over. I know that we will remain friends. I know that we're still going to get some training in, and you're still gonna bury me, and I'm looking forward to it. What y'all don't see is that when I got off the stage, and I got in the car. First person I called was Branch, and he welcomed me to the pro league. Right? He congratulated me. He welcomed me to the pro league. So if that doesn't tell you that him and I are still on great terms, then you're wrong. So whoo! So that's that, okay? So moving forward, yes, Justin Jacoby is my new coach. We will be going into a rebound phase, and we will be doing my debut, which I don't know. I already know when I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm going to put it out here. It's not this year. I'll just say that it's not this year. But moving forward, yes, Justin is my new coach. And yeah, I think that's about all that needs to be said about that situation. And I think all that needs to be known is that me and Branch are still perfectly good friends, and there's no bad blood there. Okay, so let's get into Q&A, because there's a lot of them. Let's see. Let's go. What is the most memorable part of this prep? Like, what's going to stick with you the most? This whole prep is memorable. I say it because this whole year has just been crazy. Just this whole year has been just stacked with wins. been stacked with wins. January I was able to buy the gym. January I left police work. Um, and I've been able to do what I love for a living every day this whole year. You know what I mean? And so with that said, like that includes the prep. That includes the prep. I've never had a prep go this smooth. I've been able to have a consistent schedule, make my own schedule, do what's absolutely necessary to make me the best bodybuilder that I could have been, and it paid off. So I would say, yeah, I would just say this whole prep's been memorable. And I mean, it's the prep that is put me into the pro league and has allowed me now to compete with the best in the world. So yeah, the whole prep. How long after the show were you able to flip the switch and focus on the next goal? How long after the show? Um, I think, yeah, Sunday, the next day. So Saturday night, went out to eat, obviously, with some friends and stuff and family, and just kind of enjoyed the night. I was definitely, I was on my phone a lot at the end of the night. I didn't sleep much. I slept maybe an hour and a half, and then I woke up and went to the gym Sunday morning at like 3 a.m. But I was just trying to get back to everybody on Instagram and stuff like that. My phone was off the chain, which is awesome. Just overwhelming, but um, yeah, come Sunday, you know what I mean? I was, back to the gym, back to prepping some food, and it's kind of more so we, already kind of had a game plan for the future. So just more conversating about that. But, I really just try to enjoy the moment the best I could. I hear a lot of stories of guys getting their pro cards and they look back and they don't even remember the day, you know what I mean? So I really try to be present, be in the moment the best I could. Um, so yeah, but I mean, as far as like the switch, as you've been doing this long enough, it's kind of that Saturday night, Sunday morning, had breakfast, and then it's kind of back to the diet for me. I think I did have two off plan meals Sunday, and then I had none yesterday, Monday. So just kind of back to it. What was the hardest part? Hardest part. Mm, I think the hardest part actually this prep is I was ready a little bit early. I was ready probably uh 5 weeks out, where I was kind of starting to kind of having to put the brakes on things, to not let the body get away from me, not let training performance diminish. So it was really like my baseline food, never, I never had to go like no carbs or nothing like that. My baseline food stayed about 250 carb. So it got to a point where it was like, I'd eat that for about 2 to 3 days. And then I had to fill up for 2 to 3 days. And it was just kind of like a roller coaster. But I will say, like, being ready five-ish weeks out, when that body fat's that low, it is hard to maintain energy levels. So you do start to kind of battle the constant fatigue, the constant, the heavy legs and stuff like that. Even with the high days, that's still not really putting body fat on. You're just kind of feeding up enough to top glycogen off. So I would say I was ready a little bit early, a little bit early. If I would have did it differently, I would have liked to have been ready maybe 3 weeks out. What's the feeling like when they announced you as a pro? Oh man. Uh, yeah, Nancy got a pretty cool video that she posted. Jeez. It was wild. It was wild because prejudging, they had me in the center. They moved me out of the center for a bit, and then they moved me back in. And so I was a little confused going into finals. I didn't really know if it was mine or not, and from the previous year, I finished in the center, and then I ended up taking second place. And it was kind of the same thing last year. Finished center. Everybody's like, "Hey, bro, it's yours." Message me, "It's yours. It's yours. You got this." And I'm like, "Man!" So I'm going to finals, and I was fired up. And when I got called second place last year, dang, it stung. It stung really bad. So I was trying to keep my composure. I was trying to be realistic. I wasn't really listening to anybody's feedback as far as if I won or not. I went back to the hotel room after prejudging. I put my phone in a different room. I laid down, um, ate my food, chilled, I didn't do anything. Only responded to Jacoby if he needed anything from me. Um, so I'd be lying. I definitely was like, they called third place, and then I was like, oh, fuck, okay, here we go. Like, dang, I feel like I got second place again. And then when they called second place and it was number 320 and I'm 322, it hit me like a brick wall, man. I was overwhelmed with emotion. Um, I feel like I don't know. I feel like my body just like just dropped. You know what I mean? I didn't drop to my knees, but I definitely was. That was a feeling I'll never forget. This is such a it's such a process, y'all. Like I've been at this for a few years. There are multiple national level stages over since 2021, and it's a relentless pursuit, and it's not even just a prep, but it's all the thing. It's outside life when you're trying to do a bodybuilding prep, right? It's the things that you still have to function, you still have to do on top of the prep. And that's what people don't understand is, I'm still a father, I'm still a dad, I mean, a husband. I still have to work, I still have to do these things for all these other people. And so trying to do that year after year, and you're like, oh my goodness. And then it's just a lot. So yeah, all those emotions kind of hit you. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. That was a moment that I'll definitely never forget. I'm happy it's on video, um, because I'll have that video forever. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. Um, do you see yourself competing at the Arnold next year, or if maybe I'm not sure. This guy may not know how the Arnold is a very prestigious show. The Arnold is invitation only, so you can't just because I'm pro, it doesn't mean I can just go do the Arnold. You know what I mean? It's not like hopping into like the Texas Pro or something like that. You have to. I don't know the exact criteria that they have to get into it, but you have to. I think a lot of guys, got to be kind of a top guy. I think at most pro shows, in order to get an invitation, you have to actually submit. I think maybe like an application or something to get into it. Obviously, yeah, I mean, that'd be a dream come true. Be in the Arnold Classic, be in the Olympia. Those were both shows that I would love to do at some point in my career. But I got some work to do before I could get to that, to get to those shows. I definitely got some work to do. How does strengthening your walk with Christ make prep different than others? Man, I tell you what, there was a lot of signs that he was with me these few days in Vegas. And I say that because there were so many other men that I met that I've never known before, that came up to me and mentioned that they had been following me, and they saw that I was in the process of becoming closer to God and all this stuff. And they said, "Hey, I saw you went to that Bible study and all this stuff." And I think there's about four different occasions where they asked if they could pray with me. And one of them being backstage with my buddy Billy, man. He asked if he could pray with me, and we sat there. And we put our hands on each other's shoulders, and he said a prayer over me, and it was beautiful. And that happened a number of times. And Sheila Brown sent me a prayer through text. My client, my friend Jake McCullough, he sent me a prayer through text. Um, just everything was going so smooth. The travel day went smooth. Checking in the hotel went smooth. Registration, everything, like nothing. There was no hiccups. There was no hiccups. And that's not like the norm. You know what I mean? The peaking went perfect. Like the peak was perfect. No issues. And I started sleeping more the days before. I was just, I don't know. I don't know. Everything was perfect. So I just think that me actually taking action and and pursuing God and going to church and going to Bible study and reading the book and doing all these things and talking about them with friends and family and I'm doing all these things that he is truly working through me and I'm noticing it in my daily life and I noticed it at the show. I did on Friday when I got my first coat of tan. As I was leaving the venue, I stood in front of the stage and I said a prayer. Just asked him to be with me tomorrow and to work through me on stage and allow me to present my best package and allow the judges to see the hard work that I put in. And um, I don't know, man. He was definitely with me. So yeah, strengthening strengthening my relationship with Christ. I think was a big game changer for me. Absolutely. Um, let's see. How long after the show I did that one? Was this top boy? I can't see it. Do you ever have struggles with staying on plan earlier in your career? If so, what changed? I've cheated on my diet one time. I cheated on my diet one time. It was my first prep in 2021. I was 6 weeks out, and it was Father's Day weekend, and we went to the lake. And after the so yeah, okay, so it was 6 weeks out. Um, I was given a cheat meal. I was given sushi because got sushi. Um, and then I was like, hey, let's order some cheesecake. So Nancy's like, okay. So we ordered some cheesecake and we shared some cheesecake. And that was it. I woke up the next morning, I looked awesome. I was pretty peeled already at 6 weeks out. I looked awesome. This is my first prep. And then so the next day we rent a boat, me and the boys and mama go out on the lake. We come back and she's like, let's go to Hooters. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna eat. We go to Hooters. Well, I ended up eating. All right, so I had like some burgers and fries and crab. and and that was it. So I did. That was my first time ever cheating on my diet. Uh I ended up telling my coach, I told her after I won the show. I told her after I won the show that I cheated. But other than that, no, I don't really have issues like following the plan. I'm a very, very coachable athlete. Discipline comes easy to me. I mean, I'm around my kids all day long. We have food in the house all day long. I don't really have issues. Yeah, I just keep the bigger picture in mind, right? You gotta keep the bigger picture in mind. All this stuff, like if you cheat or you're playing, you cutting cardio, you're not hitting all your steps, all this crap. That's just you're just hurting yourself. And I'm not gonna do that to myself. My goals are way too important to me. So I much rather continue to push and be relentless in the pursuit of my goal and achieve that goal and not be a fucking loser at the end, than cheat or something on my plan. So yeah, early on, it was a struggle. The better I got in the game, the more I could see, I guess, the light at the end of the tunnel. It was never an issue. Um, Benefits of fasted cardio. That's not really related to this. I mean, the simple fact is yes, there's benefits, right? I mean, there's benefits of it. It's the simple fact that like you're probably a little bit glycogen depleted. Your blood sugar is lower in the morning. So you can simply tap into like your fat cells instead of burning through glycogen before you get to your fat cells. But at the end of the day, for most people, like energy expenditure is energy expenditure. Uh, I like if like a lifestyle client, I'm not gonna make a lifestyle client do fasted cardio. I'd just rather them do post-workout cardio. And, post-workout, your glycogen stores should be depleted for the most part. Your heart rate's already elevated, so you don't have to go as intense on the stairs or on the treadmill to get your heart rate in a fat burning zone to that 120, 130 beats per minute. Uh, so I mean, I like post-workout cardio. I'm a fan of it. Um, but for me, like I do fasted cardio. I prefer it. But I don't I wanna overthink it. I wanna overthink it. Just, do what fits into your plan, do what, is most do what you can be most adherent to. But I will say I think fasted cardio is a little bit better for fat loss. When is the pro debut? I I don't know if I want to announce it. I mean, I'm not like a big Dan. I don't know. I'm not like a big Dan. I'll just, yeah, whatever. The idea, the plan is, um, we're gonna catch a rebound right now. We're gonna rebound for 8 to 10 weeks, however long we can go, as long as I can stay healthy. And then we'll run a health phase, and then we'll do one big push, and that big push will take us to the end of the year, and then we're going to prep for the Dallas Pro, which is going to be a new show next year in the Pro League in April 2027, right here in Irving, which is in my backyard. It's going to be put on by Gas for Better Bodies. A lot of my buddies are going to probably be doing it. My family can be here. Friends can be here. It's to be a really awesome freaking event. Will I be as big as I need to be a top guy? Who knows? I think I could be competitive. I think if I could add 7, 10 pounds of tissue and, be in that low 270 mark on stage, I think I could be competitive. So that's the goal, is add a good 7 pounds, get 7 to 10 pounds of tissue, be in that low 270s, make the debut at the Texas Pro. I mean, at the Dallas Pro, and see what we can do. And then obviously go from there, take more time off and come back in 2028. But just with the convenience of it, the timeline of it, it'd be nice for me to compete early on in the year, and that way I could have the summer off with the family and stuff like that. So the wife's on board. And if she's on board, if the wife's on board and she's telling me to do it, my hands are tied. Okay. I'm going to have to do it. So that's the goal. So that'll be the debut will be April 2027. Okay. All right. What was your experience with prepping and coaching at the same time? I've been doing it. I've been doing it for years. There's no difference. The only thing is that this year I did have like in-person clients that I had to put on hold. So about 6 weeks out, I stopped the in-person training. But as far as online clients, there's been no changes. The only time that I took any time off from the online clients was literally peak week. So from Wednesday to Sunday, unless they were like 4 weeks out. I had no online clients to get back to. I'm obviously catching up now, but yeah, there's no difference. I mean, that's not an issue. I mean, honestly, when I'm in prep, I'm pretty productive. Uh, I'm probably more productive at prep than I am when I'm like peak off season and I'm pushing the food super high. So yeah. So no changes, bro. I actually, yeah, you just do a job, bro. There's no difference. Like somebody has to go to work every day. That's the same thing for coaching. It's your work. You have no choice but to do it. Um, let's see. What's the tastier carb, rice or potatoes? Oh, I'm a rice guy, man. I think I like potatoes are great. I'm not somebody who I literally don't eat potatoes. Like the only time I eat potatoes is if I get a cheat meal and I have a burger and fries or a steak and baked potato. Um, I will honestly, I do the convenience of it prepping it. I don't want to freaking prep potatoes. So rice is so much easier for me. I know people like say they want the potatoes because they're more satiating when the food gets low, but dude, being hungry is what it is. You're going to be hungry no matter what. So I don't care. But I mean, honestly, like some good crispy potatoes, some sugar-free ketchup on them things. That's great. It is tasty. Um, but I just don't eat them. I eat rice, cream of rice. What's next? Yeah. So what's next is the rebound, health phase. But as far as like, okay, let's go outside of just the boring old bodybuilding stuff. Me and the family are going to the Dominican Republic August 5th. So next Wednesday, we douche out of here from the 5th to the 11th. Which is funny because dude, I'm telling you, man, God was doing some work. So we booked the vacation before I even knew I got my pro card. But Nancy knew that if I didn't get my pro card, that I was going to go to Argentina in 3 weeks to their pro qualifier. Um, I wasn't gonna wait to North Americans, bro. I'm way too impatient for a 5 week freaking yap. So I was gonna go to Argentina. And that may be a spot for some of y'all who are still pursuing the pro card. Argentina has a pro qualifier that you can hop into, uh, like the second weekend in August. But yeah, going to Dominican Republic, so that's gonna be super fun. It will be like I'll be like 11 days or so post show. I'm still going to be somewhat bodybuilder there, but I'm definitely going to take the time to unwind and enjoy myself. So that'd be cool. And then I'm planning an event up at the gym here probably September. I will definitely be posting about that for y'all. Do something like an open gym. I think I'm gonna do like a kind of evening nighttime thing because it's so hot. So I was thinking like maybe like a summer nights. I don't know. I was literally just thinking about it this morning. Kind of celebrate the pro card and stuff. Because Brian Dobson told me that I am the first IFBB Pro to own a Metroflex. So that's kind of cool, right? So I figured maybe do an event. And then other than that, there's some goals. There's something that I'm working on uh, for business, personal business stuff wise. Um, Obviously, I want to push the coaching, push the personal training, all that stuff like that, and just continue to grow. Just continue to grow in all aspects of life. Continue my relationship with God. I got my Bible study tomorrow morning, every Wednesday at a Vertical Church. And I don't know if anybody on here is local, but Vertical Church in Old Villa does a Bible study every Wednesday, man, 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. So I will be there tomorrow. And then just football. Oh, football season's here for the boys. So I'll be back to. I'm only coaching Theon's team this year. I'm like a Panther dad on Ace's team. He already had a full coaching staff, so Panthers dad. I'm like the gopher, you know what I mean? Whatever they need help with, I'll hop in. So, um, yeah, that's coming up too. So we'll stay busy. I mean, we keep moving around here, and this house is a busy one. So, all right, let's see. A lot of just what's the plan next? What's the plan next? What was the difference in the mental prep between this year and last year? Just okay. This year was very much so I'm turning pro or nothing. I'm like, I'm winning the show or nothing. I was very, very set on that. Um, from the moment I stepped off that stage last year, that second place, I said I will never take second place in an amateur show again, ever. And I meant that. And unlike many other people, um, I kept that mindset all year. And Branch would remind me to keep that mindset. Every time I fucking talk to him, Branch would remind me to keep that mindset. I train with a chip on my shoulder. I'm sure y'all seen me train. I train aggressively, and that a lot of that was simple. The fact that I'm not going to finish this off season, do a prep, and lose. I'm going to do this off season. I'm going to do a prep, and I'm going to win the whole show. My heavyweight beat me, but I got my pro card. But that was the biggest difference, man. Is I'm not going to say I stayed aggressive, but I stayed very goal oriented. My off season was perfect. I pushed clean food extremely high, pushed as hard as I could in the gym, in the kitchen. It made for a very smooth prep in terms of fat loss. Training performance stayed high. Um, Everything was smooth. Progress was absolutely very linear. In reality, during this prep, I had no moments of prep where things stopped. I never had to do a deload. I never had to do a diet break. I never had to do nothing. We just pushed, and it worked. So that all came from a strong mindset through the whole year. You know what I mean? I treated this off season um, truly like it was my last one ever, and that was the biggest thing to maintain that. Um, so yeah, that was a huge proponent of it. Congrats. Was curious the parts you brought up over the off season with training and split design. Um, I'm not too sure what he's talking about. I could tell you like what my training and split design was. Basically, I didn't have a shoulder day this off season. Sole focus this year was to bring my legs and my arms up, which that's kind of the focus now, is bring my legs and my arms up. Again, more. But yeah, so I ran, what did I run? Basically like a push day, which was more chest focused, which is like one or two shoulder. It was like five. Okay, so Monday, it was like a fly, 3 presses, a fly, rear delt, lateral head, 2 push downs. Tuesday, full leg day. And then it was rest day. And then it would be um, back and biceps. And then it was hamstrings and glutes on Friday. And a Saturday was arms. So I was touching arms twice a week and I was touching legs twice a week because on the glutes and hamstring day, I would also do 1 quad movement. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's kind of a just kind of a split. You can't really put a name to it. It's just more so what I needed to bring up, and that's what I ran the whole off season, and it worked really well. It worked really well. Um, it wasn't nothing fancy. Kind of a higher volume approach. 3 sets per movement. I was running drop sets, a shit ton of drop sets, rest pause. Um, and just honestly doing stuff that probably makes no sense on paper. Stuff. I mean, I drop set every exercise or rest pause every exercise. 18 to 22 sets per muscle group. Things like that. That's kind of what I did all year, and it works for me, and I plan to not really change anything because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's something that I just think people get too caught up into. They come across somebody on YouTube or Instagram who sounds smarter than they are, who has read literature and they can put it out and make them sound amazing. Uh, and you start following that, and sometimes it works, absolutely. Sometimes it works, and then other times it's a waste of your time. You got to do one. You got to train how you love to train. Because if you don't love being in the gym, you're not going to make progress. And two, not everybody's so different. Everybody's so different. You don't have to be married to a specific training style. You can run different methods. You can run low volume, high intensity on chest, and then turn around on your leg day and you run a high volume. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be the same. So just be open to new things. Do what feels right for you. Do what you enjoy doing, and it's gonna work. And as far as a split goes, you don't really need to get too specific with your split until you're, kind of reaching that muscle, not maturity, but I guess higher level of bodybuilding when there are specific things that you need to grow. But for the most part, most people just need to grow overall. So find you a split that, you touch things once or twice a week and just run it. And if things are going well, then keep it going. If things you're like, maybe that's not, or this body part's coming up a little bit faster. Let's reduce volume here and put some more here. You know what I mean? Like then that's when you can kind of start adjusting things and adjusting the split to specific needs. Um, Maybe a little personal, but weakest moment during prep. Oh man, there's a lot of weak moments during prep. I'll be honest with y'all, man. Obviously closer to the end. Closer to the end. My weak moments come from I'm usually in the gym when it happens, and I'll be training, and I'm freaking exhausted. And the thought of doing 3 more sets before I can leave the gym gets me so angry that I'll start crying, dude. I've probably called Nancy like 3, 4 times this prep in the gym, crying because how tired I was. To get, y'all see my pictures. I get in shape. There's not a lot of fat, if any fat on me. I'm peeled. And to get there, you got to suffer. Plain and simple. No matter how long you do this, getting in that conditioning, it's freaking, it sucks. It sucks. And, you pair that with obviously certain compounds and emotions are high and yeah, so I mean, heck, last time one of my weakest moments, honestly, was when freaking Chris Fine was here, man. We were training back. And he started ranting, Chris gets in his little rambles and he started rambling on about, you gonna when what do you say? He's like, when your wife and kids are there at the show, you think they're gonna want to see you lose. You think they want to watch you lose. You put them through all this just to fucking lose. Man, dude. So I'm like, it instantly hit me. Instantly hit me, and I freaking walk away from him, and I start crying, bro. And I called the wife, and I'm like, I want this so bad. I want to win the show so bad. And so moments like that for me is more so. It's usually more so not that I can't push through it, but it's like the thought of letting my family down breaks me down. And that's the thing is about bodybuilding is it's in the judge's hands. If you show up that day and they like you, then you'll be rewarded. If they don't like you, well, come back next year, and it's hard. It's hard. Bodybuilding is very hard in that aspect. So, plenty of weak moments, man. Yeah, I mean, I would say those are probably them. Those are probably them for sure. Joshua Wood, no question. Just want to say congratulations on the win. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. What was the biggest drive during this prep? What was one thing you kept in your mind? Oh man, family, dude, absolutely family. Obviously to win the pro card, because there's winning the pro card. I'm not saying things change for you overnight, but there's certain things for me that are lining up, and the pro card does matter, and they have vocalized that. So the pro card for sure was a motivator. Taking second place last year was a big motivator, but more so my family, man, just to show out for my family, man, and let my boys see that the harder you work, the more you're gonna get, and the hard work pays off. As cheesy as it is, that it motivated me. They see dad eating the food, they see dad doing the cardio, they see dad training, they see dad posing around the living room. They see all this, and they're like, "Dang, dude, this fucking dude don't stop." Well, guess what, man? They also seen dad get rewarded and win the show. And that teaches them a lot. And that sets a great example for them. And it sets a standard for them for their work ethic when it comes to their football and their baseball, right? So I think that was a huge motivator, and obviously, when I put the wife through, um, I wanted to get that for her too. As much as I said in our post, but as much as that pro card is mine, it's hers. She's Texas Pete. She's Mrs. Texas Pete Pro, IFBB Pro, um, all day long. She deserves it as much as I do. So, yeah, those are definitely the biggest motivators for me, bro. Single hardest day, um, single hardest day, if I remember. Kind of already touched on it, but um, I would say like I don't know if y'all remember the day that I was at Metroflex Plano and I deadlifted like I think I RDL'd like 675 for 3, 4? Yeah, 675 for I don't know, a few. And I was like that was like weeks out. I was like 3 weeks out. That was one of the hardest days, and that's why I did that. Probably not the smartest thing, but I went in the gym. I was driving out there to Plano because I'd been like training out there, just training kind of at different places outside of my gym just to kind of mix things up. And I got to a point where I'm driving out there, man, and normally I'm excited to train. And this day I was just not, and I was just like dreading the whole way. And normally if you have a little bit of a drive to the gym, for me at least in a prep, I can throw a podcast on, man. I'm kind of grooving. I'm dripping my pre-workout, whatever. And this was just not it, dude. I remember just almost turning around so many times. And I get there and I'm just sitting in front of the gym. I'm like, fuck. damn, I don't want to go in here. Um, and then something happened. Something happened that when I went in, somebody said something. I don't know. Something happened that like just even like, bro, just brought me down even more. Like pissed me off. I had to walk away from him, and then that's why I deadlifted that. So anyway, that day I was just tired. I was absolutely exhausted. I had nothing in the tank. That was an extended low day. I think we decided to stay low for another extra day for fat loss. I was absolutely buried. Just absolutely buried. And so I started training. I did some lat pullovers, and I just said, man, fuck this. I need to break out this mentality. So I got angry and I said, I'm gonna load this bar up and I'm just gonna rip this bar for a few sets. And, because I'm not gonna fucking come in here and waste my time and leave here feeling like a loser, plain and simple. So I was like, I'm gonna do something hard. And, for me, deadlifts was the thing to fire me back up. And I went in there and I fucking hammered some deadlifts. Sorry for all the cuss words, sorry. But I went in there and hammered some fucking deadlifts, picked up some heavy weight. And that right there fueled the rest of the session. I had a great session. Was that smart? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big deadlifter and I have a very strong back, so I knew safety wise I was okay. I knew it wasn't a big deal. But still, if there's a risk, I want to say I recommend that to people. But sometimes, man, when you're in those moments, for me, I just got to find something I need to build a brick wall and break through it. And that's what I did, and then that fueled the rest of the session. And I had a successful session. And then I went home and bitched and moaned the rest of the day, but I got the job done. So, yeah, that day I think so. I don't know. I think I was like 3 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out, somewhere in that time frame. I think we're almost done. Let's see. Mm. So yeah, that's about yeah. These are all just okay. Yeah, so we're good. We're almost an hour, anyways. So as a little Q&A, overall, very very happy with the whole process, y'all. My prep went really smooth. The peak went really smooth. Um, And honestly, Justin Jacoby, man, he's been so respectful to the whole change, the process. Obviously, he has nothing but respect for Branch. His post was very, very respectful. He didn't mention anything besides the fact that he peaked me. He hasn't been trying to take all this credit or nothing like that. So, Justin, if you're watching this, bro, just know that you went about this very professional, and I appreciate you for that. And I'm sure Branch does as well. So, I just don't want anybody to think that there's some bad blood or something crazy between Branch and I. Branch, like I said, I love Branch, dude, from the bottom of my heart. He is a great man. He's somebody that I look up to. He's somebody that I aspire to be, and that never changes. Just because he's not technically coaching me anymore, y'all. People change coaches all the time. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Me and Branch are still friends. Um, so if y'all have a problem with that, I mean, if y'all want to reach out to me and vocalize that to me, by all means, please do so. But I just want to clear the air. I don't want anybody, who sees this to think that something was weird. So I'm happy I came on here and talked about that. Hopefully that, like I said, clears the air. But yeah, overall, man, just this was a blessing. I'm very blessed, y'all. It's a big year for me. I'm more than excited to, climb these pro ranks. I got my work cut out for me, but I didn't turn pro as a bucket list. I turned pro to get up there and compete with the best in the world, and I'm looking forward to doing so. I got a lot of work to do, but I love that work. I love that work, and I love bodybuilding, man. I freaking love bodybuilding through and through. Everything that comes with the ups and downs. But honestly, the amount of people, hey, there's another note before I shut off. The amount of people that freaking came up to me, take pictures with me, meet me, messaged me, texted me, called me, man, insane, insane. So blessed, y'all. And that is That is my motivator. That's my biggest motivator is y'all. You know, the people who watch this freaking podcast. So many people came up to me and told me that they'd watch my podcast. Like I just started this thing. I didn't think anybody would watch it. You know, like that is so cool to me. Like it's so freaking cool to me, man. So I'm just humbled. I'm so humbled. I'm so humble, man. So I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm really looking forward to the future. I'm really looking forward to continuing my bodybuilding career, continue to build the relationships, meet people, shake hands, and I'm just happy, y'all. I'm happy. Life is good. Life is good. So with that said, I'm gonna close this out. Um, I will be at the Texas Pro. I'm gonna have a booth there from the gym. So I will be there. Hopefully I'll see y'all there. I got clients doing the amateur show as well. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch you when I catch you. I'm gonna do I don't know if I'll do another podcast on mine, but I am gonna be joining Chris Massaro's there and Dom's podcast there. It's called fuck. Anabolic Mafia, or I think Anabolic Mafia. I'm going to be doing their podcast Thursday. So I will be on that one again, talking about the peak, and I'm going to talk about the prep and all that stuff. But okay, I'm rambling, so I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you for tuning in to the Texas Pete Unfiltered Podcast. I'll catch y'all later.